इम्प्लीमेंट किया है उस एरिया में।
जी बिल्कुल सतीश, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपको हमारे साथ सारी जानकारी शेयर करने के लिए। लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, दिस इज एन ongoing developing story which we will be tracking very closely. Moving on to some other stories that are making international headlines. Donald Trump has now said that he will be raising tariff on Indian goods such as rice, as he says that the farmers of America have registered a complaint. Here is what Donald Trump had to say in his statement.
But I wish I was here under better terms. I'll tell you, I think the rice industry thanks you sincerely for what you have done for the California rice market into Japan. It has been monumental for our industry. But us in the South are really struggling. I mean, this is not just a crisis. I would say it's almost a market dynamics that really are true anti-competitive nature, right? So it follows what you sent out this weekend. And we do believe that countries are dumping rice into this country today. We've never seen imports this great.
Which countries?
India, Thailand, even China into Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico used to be one of the largest markets for U.S. rice. We haven't shipped rice into Puerto Rico in years. So this has been happening for years. This didn't start during your administration, but unfortunately, we're seeing it in a much bigger way now. The tariffs are working, but we need to double down because
you want more. I mean,
well, they're cheating, right? They're they're just subsidizing and then
India. Tell me about India. Why is India allowed to do that? They have to pay tariffs. Do they have an exemption on rice?
No, sir. We're still working on their trade deal. So
yeah, but they should be dumping. I mean, I heard that from others. So you can't do that.
There's a WTO case against India right now.
Give me the countries if you could. Go ahead. India. Who else?
So India.
Mark it down. What'd you say?
yes, sir.
India, Thailand, China into Puerto Rico, not into continental U.S., but into Puerto Rico. Those are the main culprits.
So Puerto Rico used to do a lot of business, and now you're
100% Puerto Rico was U.S. based.
All right.
And
so
now
easy to settle. Okay.
But there's others too, and I can get you a full list.
Give me a full list. Yeah.
Of course I can.
All right.
So
go ahead.
With that, it's time for us to now slip into a short break. After the break, we'll get you all the updates from the Parliament, where the SIR debate is all set to take place.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to now slip into another short break. But after the break, all eyes are now on the Parliament, which is going to begin at sharp 11 a.m. debating the SIR issue.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा हार्डकोर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी
पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Slip into a short break. Coming up after the break, all the details on what's going to happen inside the Parliament over the SIR debate.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड भी, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
This is Republic Jack Oliver's studio. Stay tuned for all the breaking news and updates. I am Tanisha Avasthi. Let's get started.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये ही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरी राजा मसाला।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड भी, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Very good morning, viewers. You're watching live and breaking. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor, and I'll be getting you the biggest news stories, including all the updates from Parliament today after a fiery debate in the lower house on Vande Mataram yesterday. Today, we will see in the Lok Sabha a debate on election reforms, and Rajya Sabha will take the debate on Vande Mataram, India's national song. We'll get you all the updates from Parliament and much more. Here are the headlines first. After 25 people died in massive blaze at Goa's Birch Nightclub, the owners flee the country. Lookout notice for Goa's Birch Nightclub owners issued in the evening after they allegedly took an Indigo flight to flee in the morning. Republic accesses Indigo's letter to the government. Indigo expresses apology and regret on the hardships caused to the customers. Indigo writes to the centre, says it needs more time to conduct a comprehensive root cause analysis. Centre ready for debate on voter list cleanup. Lok Sabha to start debate on electoral reforms today. All right, viewers, we'll be getting all the updates from Parliament, and ahead of the session today, the National Democratic Alliance, that is NDA Parliamentary Party, will hold a meeting today. The NDA Parliamentary Party will convene at the GMC Balayogi Auditorium in the Parliament Library building. All the NDA MPs have been instructed to attend the meeting, where they will also felicitate Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the Bihar election victory. So viewers, ahead of the Parliament session today, a very significant meeting of the NDA Parliamentary Party, and this ahead of the discussion today in the Lok Sabha on election reforms, and in the Rajya Sabha, a debate that will be initiated on Vande Mataram, India's national song, 150 years after it was penned. So all the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will be present for this key meeting, and Prime Minister Modi is also likely to hold a special dinner for all the NDA MPs on 11th of December. All right, Ganesh, my colleague, is now joining us for more details. Ganesh, what more details do you have about this NDA meeting?
देखिए, एनडीए की जो बैठक हो रही है बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बैठक इसलिए क्योंकि बिहार चुनाव के ठीक बाद जिस तरीके से संसद की शीतकालीन सत्र की कार्रवाई शुरू हुई और शीतकालीन सत्र के दौरान आज एनडीए की बैठक हो रही है। एनडीए की इस बैठक के दौरान सबसे पहले प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जब पहुंचते हैं तो उनका यहाँ पर अभिनंदन किया जाता है। जिस तरीके से बिहार के अंदर बीजेपी को बम्पर जीत मिलती है, 200 से अधिक सीटें बीजेपी, और यानी एनडीए वहां पर जीत दर्ज करने में सफल होती है, वहां पर सरकार बनाती है, और उसको लेकर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जब पहुंचते हैं तो मोदी जयकारे के साथ वहां पर उनका अभिनंदन किया जाता है। तो एक तरीके से बीजेपी और एनडीए के लिए ये बहुत बड़ी सफलता है बिहार के अंदर। और उसके बाद हमने देखा कि इस तरीके से कल वंदे मातरम को लेकर देर रात तक चर्चा चली, इसकी शुरुआत प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने की थी। आज एसआईआर को लेकर यानी इलेक्शन रिफॉर्म को लेकर चर्चा की जाएगी, लेकिन देखने वाली बात होगी जब प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी हो सकता है कुछ देर बाद जो वहां पर एनडीए के जो सांसद है तमाम उन्हें अपनी बात रखेंगे, उन्हें संबोधित करेंगे, तो क्या कुछ होगा। क्या प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी वंदे मातरम को लेकर बोलेंगे, क्या प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी इलेक्शन रिफॉर्म को लेकर जो चर्चा होगा उसको लेकर बोलेंगे, या प्रधानमंत्री आने वाले दिनों में जिन राज्यों में चुनाव, चाहे बंगाल हो, आसाम हो, या तमाम इन राज्यों में जहां पर चुनाव हो उसको लेकर बात करेंगे, या प्रधानमंत्री फिर से कहेंगे कि आप अपने इलाके में, अपने क्षेत्र में जाएं, लोगों से मुलाकात करें, उनके दुख दर्द को सुने और उनकी बातें सुने, उनके जो विकास कार्य उसको इस तरीके से बातें करें। ये प्रधानमंत्री लगातार कहते रहे हैं कि आप लोगों से मिलते रहे, संवाद को स्थापित करते रहे, संसदीय
जी
प्रणाली में संवाद बहुत आवश्यक है। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी इस पर हमेशा से जोर देते रहे हैं।
All right, thank you so much for getting us all those updates there from Parliament. Thank you so much. All right, viewers, the lower house of Parliament is set to take up the issue of election reforms for discussion today. Now, this will include a debate on the special intensive revision or the SIR exercise initiated by the Election Commission of India in various states of the country. The opposition has been demanding a debate on SIR for months, with the Congress alleging discrepancies in the voters list. Congress MP and leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha is expected to open the discussion today. The LOP has criticized the SIR, alleging the government is using the process to delete genuine voters. All right, so it is going to be a significant day in the Lok Sabha today. Leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, is going to initiate this debate on election reforms in the lower house of Parliament. So remember, the opposition has been demanding a discussion on SIR of electoral rolls in Parliament since the monsoon session. And now today the BJP is expected to field a number of senior leaders today this debate. And this debate is going to take place over 2 days. And as far as the opposition parties are concerned, besides Rahul Gandhi, the Congress is also expected to field other senior leaders as well, like K.C. Venugopal, and they will be participating in this debate. Meanwhile, Rajya Sabha is going to continue with the discussion on the 150th anniversary of our national song, Vande Mataram. All right, viewers, time now to take a look at some more news from across the nation. Here is Bharat in 2 minutes. Preparations are underway for actor and TVK chief Vijay's rally in Puducherry today. The Puducherry police has permitted TVK to hold a public meeting at the Expo ground in Oppalam on Tuesday, with attendance capped at 5,000 people. This posed the tragic Kurur rally stampede, which claimed 41 lives. A high-level review meeting was undertaken by the Ministry of Civil Aviation and DGCA, comprising all the senior officials, for a comprehensive assessment of the disruption of Indigo operations. All senior officials of the ministry have been instructed to visit airports to verify airline operations and passenger-oriented services. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma distributed scooters to 11,250 students under the Banikanta Kakati Merit Award at a function held in Guwahati. The rewardees included 6,860 girls who scored 80% or more in the Higher Secondary Examination 2025. As part of the ongoing Operation Sagar Bandhu, which was launched to provide urgent search and rescue humanitarian assistance and disaster relief support to Sri Lanka, the Indian Navy has deployed 4 more ships for supplying HADR stores to the cyclone-affected regions of Sri Lanka. All right, viewers, blue corner notice issued against the Luthra brothers. A blue corner notice has been issued through Interpol. The Luthra brothers had fled India to Phuket on Sunday morning. Goa police raids continue in Delhi. Search intensified for Luthra brothers' third partner. Goa police is searching for a man named Ajay Gupta. Now, Ajay Gupta is said to be a partner of the Luthra brothers. Remember, this coming in after 25 people were killed in the nightclub in North Goa. And after that, the owners of the nightclub, the Luthra brothers, fled the country, and there are reports that they fled to Phuket, and this immediately after the blaze that killed 25 people in North Goa's nightclub. So now a blue corner notice has been issued against the Luthra brothers. This notice has been issued through Interpol. The Luthra brothers, remember, had fled India to Phuket on Sunday morning. Meanwhile, Goa police is conducting raids in the national capital. This as search has intensified for the Luthra brothers now. 25 people, remember, were killed in that blaze that occurred 4 days back at a nightclub in Goa. And there were safety lapses that have been reported. There were fire security lapses that have been interpreted. In fact, Goa Chief Minister himself spoke about those lapses there. And after that, Luthra brothers, who are the owners of this nightclub, have fled the country, and now a blue corner notice has been issued against the Luthra brothers. So blue corner notice has been issued through Interpol. The Luthra brothers had fled India to Phuket on Sunday morning. Goa police, meanwhile, is conducting raids in the national capital, as now the search is intensifying for Luthra brothers' third partner. Now, this person that they are looking for is a man named Ajay Gupta, and he is said to be a partner of Luthra brothers. So So blue corner notice issued against Luthra brothers in the fire tragedy that happened in Goa in a nightclub. 25 people were killed. Owners Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra, they fled to Phuket after the tragedy, and the Bureau Immigration at Mumbai was contacted, and it was found that both the accused had taken a flight to Phuket immediately after the fire incident. And now a blue corner notice has been issued. So they are the main accused, the owners of Goa nightclub. All right, my colleague Swarali is now joining us on the phone line. Swarali, what are the updates do we have? Because a number of developments have taken place. Not only are the police looking at the whereabouts of the owners of the nightclub, but now there's another man, the third man, Mr. Ajay, who's also being looked at and searched.
Yes, that's true. Let me tell you, after the Interpol has issued a blue corner notice for Luthra brothers who flew to Phuket at 5:30 a.m. in the same morning when at the midnight this tragic incident unfolded in Goa, which cost 25 lives. They went to Phuket in flight number 6E1073. Now, on the other hand, we are also getting the information that the third partner named Ajay Gupta has been on the watch of police, and he might be arrested by the Goa police, as in he's a third partner in this case. Now, let me tell you, 3 other government officers are suspended. They're the previous secretary of Pollution Control Board and director and secretary of Panchayat in Arpura village, wherein this Birch nightclub was situated. The reason behind this is that they were having the trade license and other various licenses to operate this Birch club, which was crossing the time limit, and also fire NOC was not present. The kind of norms which were supposed to be followed was not there in place, because let me tell you, 23 people have succumbed to death. The kind of environment, the fog that was caused due to the fire that engulfed the entire Birch club, that's why 23 people succumbed in the kitchen area, wherein there was no window, no ventilation. Only one exit was there to the entire property, and that's why they have lost their lives. Only 2 have burned to death, but 23 people over here, most of them, 14 were staff members belonging to Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, Bihar, also Nepal. On the other hand, 4 were Delhi tourists, and this is a recent information that we are getting in. On the other hand, there is a possibility that major crackdown will be done on government officers responsible for giving permissions or license to this nightclub. And also there is a question that how many more such nightclubs or restaurants across North Goa are functioning without license. That's the question. An audit is also ordered. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much for getting us all those updates on that big story that we are tracking from Goa. Thank you so much, Shwar Ali, for those details. All right, viewers, we have more breaking news. A big revelation made by Badhuman, this person, Badhuman Singh, who was arrested from Ludhiana in the Kapil Sharma Cafe shooting case, and arrested the mastermind of the firing at Kapil Sharma's Canada Cafe, and he has now made a big revelation. He says that Canadian Kabaddi leagues are under the target of gangsters. He says that a syndicate is active in targeting and hiring Kabaddi players. So Kabaddi leagues are under the target of international arms suppliers. All right, Jatin, my colleague, is now joining us for more details. Jatin, what details do we have? This is a huge revelation made by this person who was arrested in the Kapil Sharma Cafe shooting case. Kabaddi leagues now under the scanner.
बिल्कुल, देखिए जिस तरीके से ये पूरा नेक्सस चल रहा था, पंजाब से जो कुछ लोग हैं वो इस तरीके के नेक्सस को चला रहे थे, लेकिन सबसे बड़ा डेवलपमेंट क्योंकि दिल्ली क्राइम ब्रांच ने बंधु मान सिंह को गिरफ्तार किया था, तो बंधु मान सिंह से जब पूछताछ की गई तो उसने ये पूरा कन्फेशन जो है उसमें दिया, साफ तौर पर बताया कि कैसे कनाडा में बैठे कुछ लोग कैनेडियन जो लीग है उसको टारगेट करने की कोशिश की। और आप अगर नजर भी डालेंगे तो पिछले 7 कुछ महीनों में आप देखेंगे कि 7 ऐसे कबड्डी प्लेयर पंजाब के थे जिनको टारगेट किया गया, उनको एलिमिनेट किया गया। सबसे बड़ा जो रीजन इसके पीछे निकलकर जो अभी तक इन्वेस्टिगेशन में सामने आ रहा है कि कनाडा का इन्फ्लुएंस और वहाँ पे
सामने आ रहा है कि कनाडा का इन्फ्लुएंस और वहाँ पे बैठे जो गैंगस्टर्स हैं उनका इन्फ्लुएंस इस तरीके का था कि वो इस कबड्डी लीग को एलिमिनेट करना चाहते थे। जो फंड उसको चलते रेस किया जा रहा था, उस फंड पर इन लोगों की नज़र थी। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी बात कि कपिल शर्मा के कैफे पर जो 3 बार फायरिंग हुई, उसको लेकर भी बंधु मान सिंह ने जो कन्फेशन है वो किया और बताया कि किस तरीके से सिब्बू नाम का जो एक हैंडलर था वो लगातार इनको डायरेक्शंस देता था और उनके डायरेक्शंस के आधार पर जो फायरिंग है 3 बार कराई। उन 2 शूटर्स की भी तस्वीर अब सामने आई है, जिसको लेकर तमाम जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन की जा रही है और इन्वेस्टिगेशन ये भी बता रही है कि ये दोनों शूटर इस समय कनाडा के अंदर ही मौजूद है और वहां पर पूरा जो गैंग है उसको ऑपरेट करते हैं। कैसे लॉरेंस बिश्नोई गैंग कपिल शर्मा के कैफे पर फायरिंग कराता है और उसके बाद जो शूटर्स को हायर करके कहीं ना कहीं जो कबड्डी लीग है उसको एलिमिनेट करने का इनका पूरा फोकस था और उसी बेसिस पर ये जो पूरा एक तरीके से जो शूट आउट है वो करवाया गया। एक तरफ अपना रसूख, अपना जो एक स्टारडम है गैंगस्टर्स का, उसको स्टैब्लिश करना कनाडा के अंदर और दूसरी तरफ किस तरीके से उनको एलिमिनेट करना है उसको लेकर एक बड़े स्तर पर जो नेक्सस है वो चल रहा है। अलग अलग जो लोग हैं, चाहे वो सिब्बू की बात कर लीजिए, उसका एक अलग रोल है। बंधु मान सिंह जो कि लॉजिस्टिक प्रोवाइड करवाया करता था, जो सपोर्ट चीज़ें जो उसको मिलती थी वो तमाम चीज़ें प्रोवाइड कराना का काम उसका हुआ करता था। तो हर एक जो गैंगस्टर है उसका अलग रोल और उसी कड़ी को जोड़ते हुए अब दिल्ली क्राइम ब्रांच इस पूरे नेक्सस पर नज़र बनाए हुए और पंजाब में जो कबड्डी लीग है उसके जो कबड्डी प्लेयर्स हैं उसको किस तरीके से एलिमिनेट करना है, अपना जो एक धाक है उसको कहीं ना कहीं प्रेजेंट कराना है। और ये तमाम ऐसी चीज़ें थी जो कि अब इन्वेस्टिगेशन का हिस्सा है। बंधु मान सिंह एक की रोल है, उसी को देखते हुए चाहे वो सेंट्रल एजेंसीज हो या दिल्ली पुलिस की क्राइम ब्रांच, वो लगातार पूछताछ इस पूरे मामले में कर रहा है। लेकिन अभी तक वो 2 शूटर जो कि लगातार 3 बार उन्होंने कपिल शर्मा के कनाडा स्थित कैप्स कैफे पर फायरिंग की थी, उनकी तस्वीरें भी अब साफ तौर पर उनकी आइडेंटिटी सामने आ रही है। तो कहीं ना कहीं इन्वेस्टिगेशन सेंट्रल एजेंसीज भी कर रही हैं ताकि इस पूरे सिंडिकेट को पकड़ा जाए और इनके जो की जो एसोसिएट्स हैं जो अलग अलग लोकेशंस पर फैले हुए हैं उनकी गिरफ्तारी जल्द की जाए, उसको लेकर ही तमाम इन्वेस्टिगेशन आगे की जा रही है। जी,
ऑलराइट जतिन, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गेटिंग अस ऑल दोस अपडेट्स देयर। Viewers, as the investigation into Goa's deadly birch fire incident picks up pace, various names from government officers to managers to club owners have come up under police's radar. The main accused in the Goa fire tragedy, Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra, have fled to Phuket, and this happened on 7th of December, just hours after the incident. The Goa police, finding them missing, issued a lookout circular and are now coordinating with the Interpol via the CBI to apprehend them, indicating that the accused likely sought to evade the investigation. Here are the details.
Just 2 days after the deadly fire ripped through Goa's Birch nightclub, claiming 25 innocent lives, the investigation has now entered its most critical phase. Shocking new revelations confirm that the club owners Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra fled their residence immediately after the FIR was registered. Both brothers were in Delhi at the time of the incident and allegedly took a flight to Phuket from the Delhi airport. Police later pasted a notice outside their locked home signaling the start of a manhunt. The Bureau of Investigation has now disclosed that the Luthra brothers attempted to flee to Phuket on Indigo flight 6E1073 at 5:30 a.m. on December 7th, just hours after the deadly blaze. Preparations for arrest with the help of Interpol is underway by the Goa police. Meanwhile, the Magisterial Inquiry Committee probing the fatal fire also visited the crime scene, assessing evidence and reconstructing the sequence of events. The committee includes the District Magistrate, South Goa SP, Deputy Director of Fire and Emergency Services, and the Director of Forensics.
3 officers are suspended. Let me tell you their names and their designations. Shamila Montero, Director of Fisheries, Siddhi Tushar Harlankar, then Director and Additional Director of Panchayat, and Raghubir D. Bagkar, then Secretary of Village Panchayat. All of them are suspended and now they are summoned to be questioned. On the other hand, 4 people are arrested. General Manager and Manager who were the authorities in Birch nightclub.
In other major developments, Goa also summoned the 3 suspended government officials responsible for issuing permits, safety clearances and operational licenses to the nightclub. As layers of the investigation continue to unfold, No one, not officers, not owners, not regulators, is being spared from scrutiny. "25 lives lost, a nightclub turned into a death trap, and now a state demanding accountability."
All right, big story from Jammu and Kashmir. Heavy snowfall is expected across the upper reaches of the line of control. The development?
Force is maintaining a highest level of alertness along the Indo-Pakistan international border, as with the onset of winters that has taken place and with most of the snow routes along the line of control being covered with the dense snowfall. Now what is happening that these troops of the border security force, they are ensuring that every threat of the adversary is foiled. How they are carrying out these intensified operations? They are trying to ensure that these areas are not unmanned, and in these grown vegetation areas that are just opposite to the Indian side, and on the other side is the Pakistani post. These barrels of the guns, they are pointed towards the Pakistani post because they know that these Pakistani posts can be detrimental to the security of the India and also to the sovereignty of the country, as Pakistan may try to push in more and more terrorists into the Indian territory. But in the past also we have seen how Pakistan has tried to carry out infiltration using this very area, and now that they are in a bid to repeat that again with the most of the areas choked, what the BSF is doing, an all-out alert that has been sounded. And here these men in uniform, they are ensuring that not only a 360-degree approach is followed, but also they get an additional support, and that is being done by the control rooms that are in the back. These control rooms are equipped with sophisticated thermal imaging sensors, night vision devices, and all these adds to this entire border management drill. Also, they have these communication devices with them. These are the Motorola devices. These are being used for any communication that comes from the control room, because as soon as they get any message from the control room, what they do, they immediately respond to the threat. They immediately respond to the action that is needed by the control room, because with the additional equipments and the surveillance devices on the ground, these BSF troops, they man the borders and also ensure that at a time when we are heading towards the intense winters that are going to take place, they are alert, they are here with the determination that Pakistan's every nefarious design is foiled.
Viewers, big story coming in from Chhattisgarh. This is breaking news. The 12 Maoists surrender and lay down their weapons before the security forces in Rajnandgaon to join the mainstream. So big success there for the security forces. As far as anti-Naxal operations are concerned in Chhattisgarh, 12 Maoists have surrendered and laid down their weapons before the security forces in Rajnandgaon to join the mainstream. So number of Maoists that have surrendered or have been killed by the security forces in Chhattisgarh has increased. All right, let's listen in to the soundbite.
सबको मालूम है कि कई दशकों से हमारा ये छत्तीसगढ़ नक्सलवाद से ग्रसित है और कहीं न कहीं छत्तीसगढ़ के विकास में बहुत बड़ा ये बाधक भी है। लेकिन वैसे तो नक्सलवाद के खिलाफ में पहले भी लड़ाई लड़ी जा चुकी है, लेकिन अभी 13 दिसंबर को हमारी सरकार के 2 वर्ष पूरे होने वाले हैं और इन 2 वर्षों में हमारे छत्तीसगढ़ के अंदर हमारे यहाँ के जवानों ने बहुत बहादुरी के साथ हमारे अधिकारियों के मार्गदर्शन में नक्सलवाद के खिलाफ में लड़ाई लड़ी है और डबल इंजन की सरकार है, उसका भी लाभ मिल रहा है।
All right, our colleague Bharat is now joining us live from Chhattisgarh for more details. Bharat, this is a huge achievement really for the security forces, considering that fact that among the 12 Maoists who surrendered is one leader who was not only a Central Committee member but also had a bounty of 1 crore rupees on his head.
देखिए, बिल्कुल एक नहीं, दो नहीं, 12 माओवादियों ने सरेंडर किया है, जिसमें से रामदेव जुर्री कहा जाता है सेंट्रल कमेटी ऑफ मेंबर यानी सीसीएम के पद पे काबिज है। बड़ी तादाद में, बड़ी संख्या में, एक तरफ से कहा जाए तो बड़े कैडर के लोग हैं। इसी वजह से छत्तीसगढ़ के जो डीजीपी हैं अरुण देव गौता, उनकी मौजूदगी में पूरा आत्मसमर्पण किया गया है, जिसको लेकर छत्तीसगढ़ के जो सीएम है विष्णुदेव शाह, उनका भी जो बयान है वो आया है, देखने को मिला है। क्योंकि अगर छोटे मोटे कैडर के लोग होते तो भाई सी बात है, जो बयान है वो देखने को बड़े अधिकारियों के द्वारा देखने को नहीं मिलती है। लेकिन जिस तरीके से छत्तीसगढ़ के जो डीजीपी हैं अरुण देव गौता, उनकी मौजूदगी में इन लोगों ने आत्मसमर्पण किया है। एमएमसी के पद पे काबिज थे। एमएमसी अर्थात महाराष्ट्र, मध्य प्रदेश और छत्तीसगढ़ के वो कैडर है जो काफी मजबूत कहा जाता है, जो बड़े बड़े हथियार जो होते हैं, जो वेपन्स होते हैं, वो ये इस्तेमाल करते हैं। तो भाई की बात है, जो कैडर है ये काफी मजबूत कैडर है। तो भाई की बात है, इनकी अगर मौजूदगी की अगर बात की जाए, इनकी अगर सक्रियता की अगर बात की जाए, तो उन इलाकों में बेहद सक्रिय है जिन इलाकों पे इनकी पैठ देखी जाती है। एमएमसी यानी जो काफी मजबूत कैडर माना जाता है, जो ऑटोमेटिक वेपन्स जो है वो इस्तेमाल करते हैं और वर्दीदारी नक्सली है। ये वो नक्सली है जिन्होंने बहुत से घटनाओं में शामिल रहे। इसी वजह से 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा के इनामी नक्सली बताए जाते हैं। इसमें अगर रामदेव जुर्री की अगर बात की जाए, माड़वी हिड़मा के बाद रामदेव जुर्री की भी जो है वो जो है जिक्र हमेशा हुआ करती थी। रामदेव वो व्यक्ति है, माफ चाहूंगा, रामदेव का जो है वो जिक्र का कहा जाता है, क्योंकि ये बड़े पद पे काबिज रहा है, सीसीएम के पद पे काबिज है, सेंट्रल कमेटी ऑफ मेंबर के पद पे काबिज है, और एक बड़ा बदलाव देखने को मिल रहा है इनके सरेंडर करने से। छत्तीसगढ़ के जो अरुण देव गौतम है वो पहुंचे हैं, उनके समक्ष इन लोगों ने आत्मसमर्पण किया है, तो बड़ी सफलता है। कुछ महिला भी नजर आ रही होगी। इन महिलाओं की अगर बात की जाए तो बहुत से ऐसे घटना है जिनकी भूमिका भी देखने को मिलती है।
Security forces in Chhattisgarh today as far as the anti-Naxal operations are concerned. Thank you so much, Bharat, for getting us all those updates there. And viewers, we are taking a very short break, but up next we'll get you all the updates as far as Indigo's operational crisis is concerned. And well, the Republic TV has now accessed Indigo's letter to the government, where Indigo has expressed sorry and regret on the hardships caused to the consumers, to the customers, for the operational crisis. We'll get you all the updates on that story and much more. Stay tuned.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा आरती और मसाला।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH।
Very good morning, viewers. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching Live and Breaking this Tuesday with me, Aina Mitra. Ladies and gentlemen, the Indigo crisis is escalating. Tough action that has now been taken by the government after Republic's relentless coverage and a campaign-like exposure of how this entire crisis was manufactured by one airline and how the government didn't really step up. The government has now been forced to wake up to what's really been happening. There's a crucial meeting, in fact, that the DGCA is going to hold at 12 noon. Just a short while from now, we'll get you the details of all that. But first, the headlines at 10:30. After 25 people died in massive blaze at Goa's Birch Nightclub, the owners flee the country. Lookout notice for Goa's Birch Nightclub owners issued in the evening after they allegedly took an Indigo flight to flee in the morning. Republic accesses Indigo's letter to government. Indigo expresses apology and regret on hardship caused to customers. Indigo writes to Centre, says they need more time to conduct comprehensive root cause analysis. Centre ready for debate on voter list cleanup. Lok Sabha to start debate on electoral reforms today. All right, we have some breaking news coming in. Kerala actor Dileep is set to approach the court demanding to probe a conspiracy. This is a day after the Ernakulam Principal Sessions Court acquitted the Mollywood actor Dileep, the sensational actress assault case. People close to Dileep informed that he will approach the court now with a plea seeking to probe the conspiracy that dragged him into the case despite being innocent. The counsel plea for Dileep informed that it will be done after examining the verdict in detail. It was learned that they are yet to get the verdict copy in hand. In the meantime, the state government is planning to approach the High Court against the verdict that acquitted the actor. This is the latest breaking news that we are getting in. Comes a day after the Ernakulam Principal Sessions Court had acquitted the actor but convicted 6 others in a sexual assault case that traces back to 2017. In fact, after he came out of the court, actor Dileep also went on to say that this case had essentially destroyed his career. All right, we'll connect to our correspondent Shankar in just a short while, but let's tell you that the counsel that is pleading for Dileep informed that they will approach the court to examine the verdict in detail. Parallelly, the Kerala government is planning to approach the Kerala High Court to essentially challenge the order that came in yesterday from the Principal Sessions Court acquitting the actor in the sexual assault and rape case that traces back to 2017. The court had essentially observed that the prosecution counsel that was appearing for the victim essentially failed to provide and furnish any evidence against the actor, where 6 other accused who are named in this case has been convicted. Dileep, after years of struggle, after he goes... All right,
लोगों को जिंदगी को सुधारने के लिए रिफॉर्म्स पे बहुत जोर दिया है। रिफॉर्म्स मतलब सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स नहीं, फाइनेंशियल रिफॉर्म्स नहीं, देश के आम लोगों के जिंदगी को आसान और आराम बनाने के लिए रिफॉर्म, हर क्षेत्र में रिफॉर्म। तो बहुत अच्छा गाइडलाइन हम लोगों को दिया है कि भारत में जितने भी नागरिक हैं सबको भारतवासी होने के नाते कोई सरकार से तकलीफ नहीं झेलना पड़े, इसका सुनिश्चित सबको करना है। रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन, कानून नियम अच्छा है, लेकिन सिस्टम को ठीक करने के लिए, जनता को परेशान करने के लिए नहीं। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने बहुत साफ शब्दों में कहा है कि कोई भी ऐसा कानून, कोई भी ऐसा नियम नहीं होना चाहिए जो बिना मतलब आम नागरिकों को परेशान करे, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। कानून लोगों के लिए बोझ नहीं, लोगों का सुविधा के लिए होना चाहिए। और फिर सांसदों को खेल कूद में यूथ को कनेक्ट करने के लिए, युवाओं का भविष्य को उज्जवल बनाने के लिए गतिविधि करने के लिए भी जोर दिया है। और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने तीसरे कार्यकाल में फर्स्ट सेकंड टर्म में जो किया है जनता ने देखा है। ये तीसरे कार्यकाल में देश को और तेजी से आगे ले जाने के लिए और तेजी से काम करने के लिए एकजुट एनडीए साथियों को कहा है कि देश के लिए हमको और तीसरे टर्म में और ज़्यादा स्पीड से, 3 गुना स्पीड से हमको काम करना होगा। मैं अपने एनडीए साथियों की ओर से प्रधानमंत्री जी को धन्यवाद और आभार प्रकट करना चाहता हूं कि बहुत अच्छा गाइडलाइन उद्बोधन दिया है, मार्गदर्शन दिया है, और एनडीए के जितने साथी हैं सब और जोश से आगे काम करने के लिए तैयार है। बहुत अच्छा बैठक हुई है आज एनडीए पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी का, और पिछले उपराष्ट्रपति जी का चुनाव में शानदार एनडीए का परफॉर्मेंस रहा और एकजुट काम किया, उसके लिए भी हमने एनडीए साथियों को धन्यवाद दिया है।
सर, आज चुनाव सुधार पर चर्चा होनी है, क्या कुछ एक तरह से बता पाए?
देखिए, आज लोकसभा में इलेक्शन रिफॉर्म्स पे डिस्कशन शुरू होंगे और राज्यसभा में वंदे मातरम का 150 साल होने पर विशेष चर्चा शुरू होगी। वंदे मातरम का डिस्कशन राज्यसभा में आज गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी शुरू करेंगे और 2 दिन का ये डिस्कशन चलने वाले हैं। लोकसभा में इलेक्शन रिफॉर्म्स को लेकर के चर्चा आज शुरू होंगे। आज समाप्त नहीं कर पाता है तो कल तक 2 दिन तक चर्चा होने का संभावना है। विपक्ष से भी बोलेंगे और सरकार बहुत अच्छी तरह से जो भ्रम खड़ा किया है उसको भी साफ करने का मौका मिलेगा और जनता ने जो विश्वास देते हैं, विश्वास के साथ साथ जनता डेमोक्रेसी में पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं, चुनाव प्रक्रिया में योगदान करते हैं, अपना मत देते हैं, उसको गलत नैरेटिव दे करके बहकावे में कोई ना आए, इसके लिए भी साफ अपना रुख रखने का मौका मिलेगा। और मैं एक बात और कहना चाहता हूँ, वैसे वंदे मातरम का चर्चा लोकसभा में हो गया, राज्यसभा में तो होंगे। विपक्ष के कुछ लोगों ने कहा कि वंदे मातरम चुनाव की दृष्टि से, बंगाल में चुनाव है इसलिए करा रहे हैं, ये कितना गलत बात है। 150 साल अभी हुए हैं 7 नवंबर को, तो 150 साल का डेट हम तय नहीं करते हैं। जन्मदिन क्या आप एडवांस में मनाते हैं क्या? वंदे मातरम 150 साल अभी हुए हैं तो अभी चर्चा हुए हैं, उसको भी कहते हैं कि चुनाव के लिए लाया गया है। ये इतना महान हमारे जो भी हमारे स्वतंत्र सेनानी लोगों ने जो भी काम करके गया है उसका डेट हम तय नहीं करते हैं, हम उसको मनाते हैं। ये मैं साफ करना चाहता हूँ। वो तो आपको पता चल ही जाएगा।
बोलें, बात बताऊंगा।
All right, that was the press briefing by Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju ahead of the debate on electoral reforms in Parliament. He also gave us the inside details of what essentially unfolded in the NDA parliamentary meet, which was held a short while back, in which Prime Minister Modi was felicitated by fellow NDA MPs. And in just a short while from now, viewers, we expect the electoral reforms debate to kickstart in the Lok Sabha, with Leader of Opposition Rahul Gandhi essentially initiating the discussion on behalf of the opposition. Parallelly, in the Rajya Sabha, Union Home Minister Amit Shah is expected to give his statement on the national song debate, the Vande Mataram debate, which was started yesterday in Lok Sabha by Prime Minister Modi. And essentially, Kiran Rijiju also went on to discuss and give us details about how Prime Minister Modi has hailed the electoral reforms in this country and lauded SIR as a means to ensure a transparent and democratic way of conducting elections in the country, even as the opposition continues to use the special intensive revision, the Election Commission's SIR, as a means to disrupt Parliament, to create ruckus and to essentially interrupt House proceedings. So stormy session expected today, and we expect more and more opposition leaders to come out and speak during the electoral reforms debate. Leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, expected to lead the opposition's intervention today, while Union Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal is scheduled to reply in the House on Wednesday. In fact, as we build up to that live session, let's once again listen in to the full statement by the Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister.
रिफॉर्म्स मतलब सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स नहीं, फाइनेंशियल रिफॉर्म्स नहीं, देश के आम लोगों के ज़िंदगी को आसान और आराम बनाने के लिए रिफॉर्म, हर क्षेत्र में रिफॉर्म। तो बहुत अच्छा गाइडलाइन हम लोगों को दिया है कि भारत में जितने भी नागरिक हैं सबको भारतवासी होने के नाते कोई सरकार से तकलीफ नहीं झेलना पड़े, इसका सुनिश्चित सबको करना है। रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन, कानून नियम अच्छा है, लेकिन सिस्टम को ठीक करने के लिए, जनता को परेशान करने के लिए नहीं। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने बहुत साफ शब्दों में कहा है कि कोई भी ऐसा कानून, कोई भी ऐसा नियम नहीं होना चाहिए जो बिना मतलब आम नागरिकों को परेशान करे, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए।
All right, viewers, we move to more breaking news coming in. Another MLA from Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena in Maharashtra has been seen in a video with bundles of cash. Shiv Sena UBT faction leader Ambadas Danve has now tweeted this video and questioned the government. And Danve has also gone on to essentially attack the MLA from Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena. In the tweet, he has mentioned that another MLA from the Shiv Sena has been seen in a video with bundles of cash. And this has now led to the latest controversy in the state of Maharashtra. On your screens now is that video that has been tweeted by the Shiv Sena UBT faction leader, wherein an Eknath Shinde faction MLA has been allegedly seen with a bundle of cash. On your screens is that video that has now been tweeted by Shiv Sena UBT faction leader Ambadas Dane, who has essentially questioned the Eknath Shinde government and also taken a jibe at Chief Minister Fadnavis, questioning the trail of this cash. Why is it that so many bundles of cash has been found with this MLA? We'll keep close watch on that for you, viewers, but let's move on to more breaking news coming in. A man identified as David, who is the guard of the TVK Puducherry District Secretary Chief, was caught by the police as he carried a gun. David tried to enter the ground that has been given to actor Vijay today in Puducherry to conduct his public meeting. This is the first public meeting after the Karur stampede, and he will be using the same that can be disrupted the crowd in Karur that led to the tragedy of losing 41 lives. Earlier, Vijay had sought permission for a rally, but the DGP had stated that the permission for rally cannot be given and had asked the party to opt for a public meeting instead. So, pistol has been found in Vijay's Puducherry rally. TVK Secretary's guard has been caught with a gun. And as we understand that this man is now in police custody, this guard who is armed with a weapon has been arrested ahead of Vijay's rally in Puducherry. And let's go across to Sharda, who joins us with more details.
Well, today in the Puducherry political rally campaign where Vijay is to make his first public meeting after the Karur stampede, we've got to know that the district secretary's guard has been carrying, the person named David had a licensed pistol along with him and he was carrying it. The police identified him and arrested him immediately, and following the investigation they figured that he has a licensed pistol and that they had to take him out only for security reasons and that he did not want to personally harm anybody. The information has also been clarified to the TVK party that the person can re-enter the venue after he leaves the gun with the police and can collect it after the public meeting is done. And this David is also the guard of the district secretary chief of the Puducherry, and he has multiple roles to be done in today's public meeting, and that's the reason the police have let him out now.
Right. Sharda, one more question before I let you go. This is essentially quite, a breach of security, and we've seen what had happened last time during the Karur stampede. What are the measures that are currently in place to ensure that a scene like last time does not unfold? Because there were strict protocols that had come into, that were compelled to be enforced after the stampede unfolded in Karur.
As you see, this is the first public meeting that Vijay is coming out after the Karur stampede. The previous two meetings were all closed indoor meetings inside a college and a hotel, but he's making his first public appearance outside, meeting the public. Earlier, they asked for permission for rally in Puducherry, but the police DGP made it clear that they can have a public meeting, but not a rally. And what we have to notice here is that Vijay is using the same van that disrupted the Karur crowd and that made 41 people lose their lives. It was this van, is the same van that is being used today. There are no setup for a stage inside the public ground that's been there. But Vijay is expected to come in his van, the political van that he's been using since he started his political campaign 6 months back, and he'd be talking to people from his van as well. He'll be climbing up on the roof of the van and be speaking. According to the security measures, the implementation of the police this time has been very heavy in Puducherry, expecting that the situation that Karur should not happen again, should not follow, is what the police and the DGP of the Puducherry had stated. According to security reasons, multiple public are only allowed if they show a QR code. The number has been limited to 5,000 people alone to be let into the venue, and these QR codes were sent by the party cadres yesterday in Puducherry to the people who will be attending. And if you don't carry the QR code, you will not be allowed to enter the venue. Apart from that, last time the issues that people faced is what the TVK is trying to evade this time by building multiple public toilets for men and women, which are also portable toilets that are being available at the public places as of now. And also the TVK party members have arranged for basic water packets, food, and multiple other first aid treatments to be done if in case the crowd is not able to manage the heat.
Right, Sharda. All right, thank you for giving us those details. We'll keep a close watch on what unfolds at the rally, viewers. We move on to more news that we're now getting in. Viewers, heavy snowfall is expected in the upper reaches of the line of control, which might push Pakistan's infiltration attempts in India. The Border Security Force stands guarded, maintaining strict and sharp surveillance along the border. Meters away from Pakistan post, the BSF troops, which had high-tech monitoring systems, stand guarded to thwart any potential infiltration attempt from the Pakistani side in Jammu. Take a look.
Force is maintaining a highest level of alertness along the Indo-Pakistan international border as with the onset of winters that has taken place and with most of the snow routes along the line of control being covered with the dense snowfall. Now what is happening that these troops of the Border Security Force, they are ensuring that every threat of the adversary is foiled. How they are carrying out these intensified operations? They are trying to ensure that these areas are not unmanned, and in these grown vegetation areas that are just opposite to the Indian side, and on the other side is the Pakistani post. These barrels of the guns, they are pointed towards the Pakistani post because they know that these Pakistani posts can be detrimental to the security of the India and also to the sovereignty of the country, as Pakistan may try to push in more and more terrorists into the Indian territory. But in the past also we have seen how Pakistan has tried to carry out infiltration using this very area, and now that they are in a bid to repeat that again with the most of the areas choked, what the BSF is doing, an all-out alert that has been sounded. And here these men in uniform, they are ensuring that not only a 360-degree approach is followed, but also they get an additional support, and that is being done by the control rooms that are in the back. These control rooms are equipped with sophisticated thermal imaging sensors, night vision devices, and all these adds to this entire border management drill. Also, they have these communication devices with them. These are the Motorola devices. These are being used for any communication that comes from the control room, because as soon as they get any message from the control room, what they do, they immediately respond to the threat. They immediately respond to the action that is needed by the control room, because with the additional equipments and the surveillance devices on the ground, these BSF troops, they man the borders and also ensure that at a time when we are heading towards the intense winters that are going to take place, they are alert, they are here with the determination that Pakistan's every nefarious design is foiled.
All right, viewers, now let's tell you about INS Chakra. INS Chakra 3 is the latest marine weapon to be inducted into India's naval fleet. For India, it has been upgraded with quieter machinery, mounts, anechoic coatings and Indian sensors. Unlike Arihant-class submarines that carry nuclear missiles for deterrence, Chakra 3 is designed for hunting ships, submarines and striking land targets with conventional missiles. India is also building 6 indigenous nuclear attack submarines with similar power and advanced systems. Take a look.
India is set to receive nuclear-powered attack submarine from Russia. The submarine, which will be commissioned as INS Chakra 3, belongs to the upgraded Project 971U Akula class. The Akula class submarine, which India is set to receive from Russia, is 110 meters long and displaces nearly 14,000 tons when submerged. A single 190 megawatt nuclear reactor provides unlimited range and permits sustained high-speed submerged transits that diesel-electric boats cannot match. It can exceed 30 knots underwater and operate at depths of around 600 meters. Armament comprises 8 torpedo tubes of 533 and 650 mm caliber, capable of launching heavy torpedoes, anti-submarine rockets, mines, and Caliber family cruise missiles with conventional warheads effective against ships and land targets several hundred kilometers away. The boat carries more than 40 weapons in total. Modernization for Indian use includes rafted machinery mounts, anechoic coatings, a skewed 7-bladed propeller for reduced acoustic signature, and integration of Indian sensors and communication systems. India already possesses nuclear-powered submarines, but they belong to a different category. INS Arihant and INS Arighat, both commissioned, and 2 larger follow-on boats of the same indigenous class now nearing completion. These existing submarines comes under the category of SSBN, which means they are nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines. Their sole purpose is strategic deterrence. Equipped with K-15 and K-4 submarine-launched ballistic missiles carrying nuclear warheads, they remain on silent patrol to guarantee a credible second strike capability. In plain terms, these are India's underwater nuclear shield. A nuclear attack submarine, or SSN, by contrast, is an entirely different instrument. It carries no ballistic missiles and no nuclear warheads for strategic use. Its task is conventional naval warfare, sinking enemy warships and merchant vessels, neutralizing hostile submarines, launching precision strikes on land with conventional cruise missiles, and gathering intelligence far from Indian shores. The strategic necessity for SSNs is clear. India's trade and energy imports travel through increasingly contested waters. Even the most advanced diesel-electric submarines must snorkel periodically, exposing themselves and limiting endurance at high speed. An SSN can leave Visakhapatnam, transit the Malacca Strait or the Gulf of Aden entirely submerged at 20 knots or more and arrive combat-ready weeks later. In an era when adversary navies are deploying carrier battle groups and nuclear submarines far from their coasts, India requires similar reach and persistence. Recognizing this, the government has approved construction of 6 indigenous nuclear attack submarines. These 6,000 to 7,000 ton boats will use an Indian-designed 190 megawatt reactor, carry BrahMos and Nirbhay cruise missiles, and incorporate pump jet propulsors for superior stealth. The leased Akula-class SSN will therefore serve a dual purpose. It will immediately extend Indian underwater strike reach to distant oceans and, equally important, train several generations of officers and sailors in the complex art of large nuclear attack submarine operations. When the indigenous SSNs join the fleet, India will possess a complete underwater triad: diesel-electric submarines for coastal and regional defense, Arihant-class SSBNs for assured nuclear retaliation, and a force of nuclear attack submarines capable of sustained power projection from the Persian Gulf to the Western Pacific. With INS Chakra 3 and the indigenous SSN program, India is moving decisively from a coastal defense navy to a blue water force able to safeguard its maritime interests in an increasingly contested Indo-Pacific theater.
All right, viewers, we slip into a very short break, but do stay on with us because on the other side, as the aviation crisis continues pan-India, we'll get you the details of that so-called apology letter that Indigo has now written to the government of India.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Republic accesses Indigo's letter to the government, breaks it down point by point on what are the reasons that the airline has cited for its operational disruptions. Do not go anywhere, stay on. More details on the other side.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
This is Republic Jack Oliver's studio. Stay tuned for all the breaking news and updates. I am Tanisha Avasthi. Let's get started.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
भाई मेरा बेटी को प्यार चाहिए, मेरा बेटी का ब्लड आ रहा, ब्लड नीचे से ब्लड आ रहा, प्यार चाहिए, दे दो।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Goa club owners flee to Thailand after deadly fire. Take Indigo Dawn flight blue corner notice issued against Luthra brothers. Indigo faces action over cancellation chaos to lose 5% of flying routes this winter. Rahul Gandhi to kick off discussion on electoral reforms in Lok Sabha today. Trump warns of new tariffs on India, says they should not dump rice in the United States. Twelve Maoists, including senior Maoist leader and Central Committee member, surrender in Chhattisgarh. Some breaking news coming in. This one coming in from Rajnandgaon in Chhattisgarh, where 12 Maoists, including senior Maoist leader and Central Committee member Ramdev Maji and 11 of his associates, carrying a bounty of a total of rupees 2 crores and 95 lakhs on their head, have surrendered before the State Director General Arundev Gautam. They surrendered their weapons, including 3 AK-47 rifles, 1 SLR rifle, 3 INSAS rifles and 2 .303 rifles earlier this morning.
सबको मालूम है कि कई दशकों से हमारा ये छत्तीसगढ़ नक्सलवाद से ग्रसित है और कहीं न कहीं छत्तीसगढ़ के विकास में बहुत बड़ा ये बाधक भी है। लेकिन वैसे तो नक्सलवाद के खिलाफ में पहले भी लड़ाई लड़ी जा चुकी है, लेकिन अभी 13 दिसंबर को हमारी सरकार के 2 वर्ष पूरे होने वाले हैं और इन 2 वर्षों में हमारे छत्तीसगढ़ के अंदर हमारे यहाँ के जवानों ने बहुत बहादुरी के साथ हमारे अधिकारियों के मार्गदर्शन में नक्सलवाद के खिलाफ में लड़ाई लड़ी है और डबल इंजन की सरकार है उसका भी लाभ मिल रहा है।
Okay, Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Vishnu Theosai giving us first statement. Let's get more details about this operation from Bharat, who joins us live from Bijapur. Bharat, हमें बताइए कितनी बड़ी जीत है ये हमारे फोर्सेस के लिए?
देखिए, बिल्कुल मैं बता दूं, जिस व्यक्ति का नाम आ रहा रामदेव मज्जी बीजापुर जिले का ही रहने वाला, जिस इलाके पे मेरी मौजूदगी है, ये पूरा इलाका की अगर बात की जाए, रामदेव मज्जी जो है वो 1 करोड़ का इनामी है और एमएमसी का जो वो सीसीएम के पद पे काबिज है। एमएमसी अर्थात मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र और छत्तीसगढ़ का वो जो बड़ा जो वजूद होती है इन लोगों की, जो बड़े कैडर के जो लोग होते हैं, जो अत्याधुनिक जो हथियार से लैस होते हैं, ऑटोमेटिक वेपन्स की अगर बात की जाए या फिर वो हथियार जो आमतौर पर जो बड़े कैडर जो इस्तेमाल करते हैं, उनमें रामदेव मज्जी आता है, इसलिए उसका जिक्र हो रहा है। इसी वजह से सरकार को इसके समर्पण की मौजूदगी में देखने को मिला है। वहीं छत्तीसगढ़ के मुख्यमंत्री विष्णुदेव साय की मौजूदगी है इस पूरे समर्पण में। वहीं छत्तीसगढ़ के जो गृह मंत्री है विजय शर्मा सहित जो डिप्टी सीएम है, उनकी मौजूदगी में इनका समर्पण देखा जा रहा है। रामदेव मज्जी एक बड़ा नाम है, 1 करोड़ का इनामी नक्सली है। इसके समर्पण करने से जो माओवादियों का जो ढांचा है वो पूरी तरीके से टूट जाएगा। हालांकि अभी स्थिति या माओवादियों की बहुत विपरीत नजर आ रही है। इसी वजह से जो माओवादी हैं वो समर्पण करने के लिए मजबूर हो रहे हैं। बीते दिनों की अगर बात की जाए, कुछ हफ्ते पहले की अगर बात की जाए, अनंत ने समर्पण किया था। आपको याद होगा एमएमसी के पद पे वो भी काबिज था। मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र और छत्तीसगढ़ का जो प्रवक्ता था अनंत, उसने समर्पण किया था और हाईटेक जगह पे उसने पढ़ाई भी की थी, एक बड़ा खुलासा भी उसने किया था। उसके बाद एक दूसरा झटका देखा जा रहा है। राजनांदगांव क्षेत्र में बड़े पद पे काबिज है, बड़ा नक्सली है, बड़ा माओवादी है रामदेव मज्जी, जो 1 करोड़ का इनामी नक्सली है। और उसके जो साथी हैं जो बड़े बड़े पद पे काबिज है, डीवीसीएम के पद पे काबिज है, कोई एसीएम के पद पे काबिज है, कोई अन्य पद पे काबिज है, संगठन के अलग अलग पद पे वो काबिज है। रैंक अनुसार जो माओवादी है वो काबिज है, जो उसके साथी है। 13 माओवादियों ने आज आत्मसमर्पण, 13 माओवादियों ने बीते दिनों इन्होंने आत्मसमर्पण किया है। रही बात इस पे बड़ी बात अगर देखी जाए तो छत्तीसगढ़ के जो पुलिस विभाग के जो डीजीपी हैं अरुण देव गौतम सहित जो एंटी नक्सल ऑपरेशन के जो विवेकानंद सिन्हा है, उनकी मौजूदगी में ही ये पूरा आत्मसमर्पण देखा गया। आत्मसमर्पण में एक सबसे बड़ी और खूबसूरत जो तस्वीर है बाहर निकल के आई, ये लोकतंत्र की सबसे बड़ी खूबसूरत तस्वीर ये कहा जा सकता है। क्यों? क्योंकि जिन माओवादियों ने आत्मसमर्पण किया, उन माओवादियों के स्वागत के लिए गुलाब फूल और संविधान को उनके हाथ में थमाकर उनको आत्मसमर्पण की और मुख्यधारा की ओर जोड़ा गया है। तो इससे एक बड़ी सफलता देखी जा रही है। वही अगर बात की जाए, राजनांदगांव एक वैसा इलाका पड़ता है जो कॉरिडोर के जो इलाके पड़ते हैं, उस इलाके का एक बड़ा माओवादी के तौर पे रामदेव जो मज्जी है उसको देखा जा रहा था। उसके आत्मसमर्पण करने से उस पूरा इलाका में नक्सल जो ढांचा है वो खत्म होने की कगार पे नजर आ रहा है। वहीं मैं आपको बता दूं, रामदेव मज्जी के बारे में मैं बार बार जिक्र इसलिए कर रहा हूं, रामदेव मज्जी इसी इलाके के रहने वाला है, बीजापुर जिले के कुटरू के इलाके का वो रहने वाला है। उस इलाके से माओवादी संगठन में वो जुड़ गया था। माओवादी संगठन में जुड़ने के पश्चात एमएमसी जोन के सीसीएम के पद तक वो पहुंच गया था, यानी सेंट्रल कमेटी ऑफ मेंबर। बीते दिनों आपको याद होगा माडवी हिड़मा जो कि सीसीएम के पद पर काबिज था, बड़ा माओवादी था, क्योंकि वो आदिवासी वर्ग से भी आता था, इस वजह से उसका नाम जिक्र हुआ करता था। रामदेव मज्जी भी बस्तर के आदिवासी इलाकों का ही वो रहने वाला है और बड़े पद पे काबिज है और 1 करोड़ का इनामी नक्सली है। कुल टोटल अगर आंकड़े की अगर तर्ज पर बात की जाए, जितने माओवादियों ने आत्मसमर्पण किया है, उनकी जो इनामी राशि है काफी ज्यादा है। इस वजह से सरकार उनके मौजूदगी में ही, छत्तीसगढ़ के जो मुख्यमंत्री है विष्णुदेव साय की मौजूदगी में, छत्तीसगढ़ के जो गृह मंत्री है उनकी मौजूदगी में, वहीं छत्तीसगढ़ के जो डीजीपी अरुण देव गौतम के समक्ष इन लोगों ने आज मुख्यधारा में लौटे हैं। मुख्यधारा में लौटने से एक बड़ी जो सफलता है पुलिस को इससे देखने को मिल रही है। जो डेडलाइन सरकार ने तय कर रखा है, देश के गृह मंत्री अमित शाह ने तय कर रखा है 31 मार्च 2026, यानी कुछ ही महीने बचे हैं, ज्यादा महीने नहीं बचे, कुछ महीने से पहले ही अगर बड़े बड़े कैडर आत्मसमर्पण कर रहे हैं तो पुलिस और छत्तीसगढ़ सरकार को एक बड़ी सफलता की ओर देखी जा रही है।
जी भारत, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए, हमें डिटेल्स देने के लिए। व्यूअर्स, लेट्स क्विकली मूव ऑन टू मोर न्यूज़ दैट वी आर ट्रैकिंग, दिस वन फ्रॉम Jammu and Kashmir, where the NIA is carrying out raids, we understand, at 3 different locations in South Kashmir in connection with the Delhi 10/11 blast case. The raids are locations emerged during interrogation of the doctor's module, and several NIA teams from the national capital are carrying out these raids since early this morning. Teams have been headed by Deputy SP rank officer of the National Investigation Agency, who's essentially leading these raids in 3 different locations in Jammu and Kashmir. All right, this is the latest breaking news that we are getting in as the investigation into The Delhi blast case continues. It's been almost a month now, viewers, but the crackdown on this terror network essentially has only escalated after this entire network of white-collar jihad came to the fore. And over the last 1 month, we have seen how the NIA and multiple investigation teams, including teams from the Jammu and Kashmir Police and Special Forces, have uncovered a notorious nexus of overground workers and terrorists and their aides essentially operating on Indian soil. Let's go across to Zeenath, who joins us live from Srinagar with more details. Zeenath, over to you.
These are the raids being carried by the National Investigating Agency as far as the Red Fort blast case is concerned of November 10th. Yesterday also there were the raids being conducted by NIA in Kashmir. But the visuals that we are showing you on the screen, this comes from Matan, the upper forest area of Anantnag, where the raids are being conducted. This is being assisted by the CRPF. Because see, if you take the entire case of Red Fort blast where the doctors, the module was involved, most of these doctors had come from South Kashmir and they're all connected with each other. And this is one specific area where now the NIA is conducting raids because the people who are still with the NIA, there's been a remand that had been extended by the Honorable Court. And the people, these terror module doctors who are involved in it and are lying with the NIA, they have provided certain leads to the NIA on the basis of which now the raids are going on. The raids that are taking place is South Kashmir's Anantnag district, because when we talk about the Dr. Adil, who is also lying with the NIA, he comes from Kulgam, then Muzammil, who comes from Pulwama, and then Umar, who was suicide bomber. He also comes from Pulwama, and this is one main chunk of the Pulwama of South Kashmir's Anantnag, where the raids are going on. Because when we see and track the history of the terrorists or their module, most of them have been using these kind of places, the upper belts, for their movement or the terror hideouts, which were busted many times by the anti-terror agencies, or they busted the module during the anti-terror operations. So the leads that are generated by the investigating agencies along with the Jammu and Kashmir police, because the raids are not possible without taking the concerned police on board. And as we are showing in the visuals, apart from CRPF, we are seeing the Anantnag police being the part of the coordination, as NIA is carrying certain searches in the upper forest belt of South Kashmir's Anantnag district as far as the Red Fort blast is concerned.
All right, Zeenath, thank you for giving us those details. We'll keep a close watch on what happens in Jammu and Kashmir. Viewers, for the moment, let's quickly take a look at everything else that is making news across the country at this hour. This is Bharat in 2 minutes. Ahead of House proceedings this morning, the NDA Parliamentary Party meeting was held at the Parliament House complex in New Delhi. In the meeting, attended by top cabinet ministers, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was felicitated by NDA MPs over the landslide victory in the Bihar elections. The Lucknow administration has begun strict fire safety inspections across malls, restaurants, nightclubs and bars in the city. Chief Fire Officer said the crackdown follows the recent fire tragedy in Goa, prompting authorities to verify valid fire NOCs and ensure full compliance with safety regulations. He cautioned that action will be taken against establishments that fail to meet the flagged safety norms. Tension erupted in Banswara city in Rajasthan on Monday evening after a dispute over 2 posters placed near the Jama Masjid prompted heavy police deployment. The situation escalated when a Bajrang Dal poster featuring a newspaper clipping allegedly on love jihad was put up on the Shahi Masjid wall, drawing a large crowd and raising concerns of unrest. Director Vikram Bhatt and his wife Shwetambari Bhatt were brought to Udaipur by the local police after being detained in Mumbai by the Rajasthan police in connection with an IVF fraud case. The couple, taken into custody on Monday, is scheduled to be produced before the court today as the investigation progresses. Around 15 female students at the Kasturba Gandhi Girls Hostel in Ujjain district in Madhya Pradesh fell ill after toxic smoke caused eye irritation and coughing, leading to their immediate hospitalization. Officials visited the hostel following the students' report, suspecting that some gas mixed in the smoke triggered the symptoms, though the exact cause will be known only after investigation. Viewers, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, that is the DGCA, has slashed Indigo's flight schedules by at least 5%, eliminating around 115 daily flights from its 2,300 strong operations in a bid to curb widespread disruptions triggered by crew shortages and the airline's inadequate readiness for new pilot fatigue rule effective from November 2025. This move comes amid a 6% surge in domestic flights to 15,014 flights daily during the winter schedule, exaggerated by technical snags, adverse weather and airport congestion, resulting in hundreds of cancellations and stranded passengers. All right, we have to move on to more breaking news coming in. Viewers, we understand that Prime Minister Modi has mentioned the Indigo crisis in the NDA parliamentary meeting that was held this morning, and the government has essentially come to the conclusion that they won't allow this to happen again with any airlines. The government is now going to take not one but many severe steps which the companies may or may not like, but the people of this country won't face such a problem again. That is the big breaking news that we are getting in at this point in time. Prime Minister Modi has taken a strong stand during the NDA meeting, pulled up the government and the airlines, and essentially promised that what we have seen over the last 1 week unfold at the airports, which major chaos, disruptions, essentially bringing India's aviation industry to a standstill, will not be repeated. And the government is essentially, as we understand, not going to take not just one harsh step, but several steps to ensure that such chaos is not repeated again. Let's go across to Shambhavi, who joins us live from the national capital with more details. Shambhavi, pretty strong words used there by the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, do give us details of how we expect these new rules and measures to actually come into enforcement.
See, definitely after DGCA issuing a notice and also Ministry of Civil Aviation going on very heavy on Indigo for this miserable Indigo crisis. This is a huge statement coming from the Prime Minister himself that this kind of behavior will not be accepted from any of the companies, and the companies might
Shambhavi,
not like
I'll come
it
back
because
to
we
you
are
in
going
just
to
a short bit. I'm sorry to cut you there in between. I have to go across to Executive Editor Aishwarya Kapoor, who joins us on the phone line with more details. Aishwarya, over to you. Give us more details of what exactly has been mentioned by the Prime Minister in this meeting.
Well, in this meeting, this is the NDA meeting, which happens once every week. And in this meeting, the Prime Minister himself, and I repeat, the Prime Minister himself has categorically basically mentioned that Indigo crisis. He has mentioned it in presence of all the NDA MPs, which includes Ram Mohan Naidu, which includes the TDP and the other partners of the BJP. He has categorically mentioned that I and the government won't allow this to happen again with any airlines. Government is going to take not one, but several severe steps. Severe was the word. Steps which the companies may or may not like. But the people of this country won't face such problem again. So the whole gist is that he has given a stern warning that the companies may or may not like the steps which the government is going to take within the next 24 to 48 hours, keeping in mind that they don't want to take any sudden decision which will again create a disruption during, and this is the peak hour for travel, and specifically air travel, but he has categorically specified that the government is going to take not one but several severe steps to make sure that the people of this country don't face such a problem, and specifically to the scale which Indigo, knowing the fact that this problem will arise, DGCA, despite the Parliamentary Committee telling the DGCA did not act. So all of this has been brought into the notice of the Prime Minister, and he himself, mentioning in the NDA meeting, makes it very clear that it's a message to the TDP as well. It's a message to Ram Mohan Naidu as well. That's the Minister. It's a message to each and every, not only a member of parliament of the NDA, but also to the airlines companies, also to the civil aviation ministry and every officer involved, including the companies, that now the axe is going to fall. And it's not only on any one individual, it's on the system. That the system will not allow such malpractices, the system will not allow such a problem to be arisen, so that not hundreds, but tens of thousands of people getting affected, directly affected and impacted. This government will not allow this under any circumstance. And once again, the Prime Minister has mentioned it in the NDA meeting, categorically stating that the government, his government is going to take several steps, so that this or similar situation does not arise in any circumstance. It's the sternest possible message going to both the minister, the ministry, the DGCA, and the private players involved. The monopoly duopoly system, which has been on, which Arnab had mentioned on day one, that if this government allows monopoly and duopoly, this will happen. It seems that the government has understood the fact, and now the highest quarters, the Prime Minister himself mentioning it in the NDA meeting, specifies the gravity of the situation, and the measure which is going to be taken is also going to be equally stern and severe. Back to you in the studios.
All right, Aishwarya, thank you for giving us those details. Let's also go back to our colleague Shambhavi, who joins us live from the Delhi Indira Gandhi International Airport. Shambhavi, while of course the government and Prime Minister has now taken a strong stand on what's been happening, on the other hand, we've also seen Indigo is essentially, asked for more time from the government, essentially putting across the fact that they cannot point to a single root cause of the incident. So my question is, how soon before we can expect all operations to normalize and the new measures that have come into effect to actually materialize, while also making sure that passenger welfare is not put at stake anymore?
See, this has been Indigo's stance since the very beginning, because this is not something new. When Indigo is asking for more time, because earlier in its earlier statement and also the report that it submitted to DGCA, Indigo said that it will take it some time to stabilize the operations, and it said that till 8th or 9th of December it will be somewhat back to normal, but then later it would need at least time till 10th of February 2026 for all the operations to resume normally in its usual self. So this has been Indigo's stance since the very beginning, and it has time and again reiterated in the report itself with DGCA that there was this very major error where Indigo failed to assess, failed to analyze the number of crew members, the number of pilot, or in general people needed through the rostering system. So there's a major rostering system fault which happened from Indigo's end, which resulted in such a huge crisis. So this has been Indigo's stance at the very beginning. This is just Indigo reiterating its problem, reiterating the need for the time that it is required by them to formally, get all the operations back to normal.
Yes. Shambhavi, since you mentioned rostering system, I want you to stay on with us because we have more news that we're now breaking. The All India Pilots Association, ladies and gentlemen, has fiercely criticized the DGCA's decision to grant Indigo a temporary exemption from stricter night duty rules under phase 2 of the flight duty time limitation norms, labeling it as selective and unsafe move that sets a dangerous precedent for aviation safety. So top pilot body, the ALPA, has now essentially opposed the DGCA giving in to Indigo's demands.
Yes, the crisis had started with a very overwhelming number of flights getting cancelled, and it was more like a unprepared situation which arose, and people were not prepared for it. It is not like some national calamity which has happened, probably flood somewhere, or a cyclone where things have got disrupted, and it happens a couple of days and things get back to normal. But this was totally unwarranted and unexpected because passengers were not expecting. Initial day, there were about 500 flights got cancelled. Next day it was more than double. And now it's coming slowly down, and the ministry also, Honorable Minister also has intervened and got the things sorted out. It's getting sorted out, but it will take time because the flights which have got cancelled, they have backlogs. The ones which are getting cancelled will get into backlogs. The new flights which are coming, they have to be programmed, they have to be planned. So whatever the glitch, whatever the what the company is saying is as miscalculation. So we exactly don't know what the miscalculation is because it's not been said very clearly where the miscalculation went or where the error happened. Now there are a lot of things which they have said that, a glitch in the programming system, rostering planning, crew shortage and all these things which has happened. So that has to be looked into it, and for that, DGCA has made a panel of their own officials who will look into this matter and give a review. And I hope that the review comes fast, and the ground reason, the root cause will be explained to the people. Basically, the people have to come to know why this happened to them, that inconvenience happened, and not at small scale, at a very large scale. Now, as we see that things are getting sorted out, but it will take some time. Now, how long, how much time it will take, that depends upon the operator of the airline itself. How are they coping up? What are they doing about it? We don't know what the internal, mechanism is or internal procedures are. But whatever is happening. It will get, sorted some other time. It's soon, hoping it's soon. But the issue is not that it's getting sorted. The issue is what are the chances it can get repeated again. With this operator, other operator, there are many operators here. And if you see, because this issue has happened, the DGCA has given them a special dispensation on the FDTL car.